Alright, what is up y'all? We're here today for PCL Week 10 going up against HeavyMetal Pokemon, and I guess he's the Colorado Mamoswine, but he's taking over for the Boston Beedrills. I don't know exactly which one of those he's going to be. I don't know, man, but basically, we need to win this game. I am out of playoffs, I believe, if I do not win this game. Your boy needs a W. So, we're going to go good old-fashioned, full try-hard mode. And you can see his team. He's got the fucking Victini, Lando-I, Celesteela offensive core thing he's got going on there, which is just a fucking threat, man. That's a scary thing to face. Also has other big offensive threats, such as Crocodile. Azelf is also kind of annoying. Flinchy Togekiss is going to be super annoying. And then he's got that boy Mega Banette, which is crazy. A lot of people talk shit about Mega Banette, but I know firsthand that is a good mon. Okay, that thing is scary. I don't think it's going to come versus the Psychic Terrain team because that thing kind of does rely on Shadow Sneak to be able to pick up those kills. But nonetheless, it's something we're going to have to prep for. So, lol. So, to start off, I realized he has that annoying ass Rotom, and that thing is kind of a problem for my team. If I can take care of the Rotom, then certain other things on my team do a lot better versus the rest of his team, if that makes sense. Like stuff like Jolteon, stuff like Gallade, and stuff like Pyroar can put in a lot of work if the Rotom is weakened and or gone, you know. So we just have a Sash lead here. Also, he does have the Masquerain, which if he just wants to be Sash lead as well, we have the Rock Slide, so we can at least take it down to its Sash and hopefully Rapid Spin the webs away on the second turn. But I don't know, man. That seems a little scary. It seems like that would go too well if that happened. So, but basically, I just wanted to have speed in case he did for some reason bring offensive Rotom. Versus Sand, offensive Rotom isn't terrible, I guess. You know, like those like Specs Hydro Pump is gonna fuck my world up. So, I'm not trying to lose him on just in case he does want to run max speed on Rotom for some reason. So, we're just better safe than sorry. And like I said, we're Sash lead, so we're not really meant to take a hit. We're not really meant to take hits. We're really meant to take one hit and then die. So that's that guy. Then we have 3.1 Roar, our Pyroar here with the Normalium Z, with Fire Blast, Hyper Voice, Dark Pulse, and Flame Charge. Now, one of these days, I'm gonna get fucking Flame Charge Pyroar to work. It has not worked. I think I've brought it almost every week, and it has not worked. But one of these days, man. So with the Normalium Z, we do a fuckload of damage to just about anything on his team. Now, this does not deal very well with the Diancie, but seeing as how I have the double steel core with Kartana and Excadrill, I don't really predict to be that much of a problem. Like, I don't know, if this was my matchup, I would not bring Diancie in this particular matchup. But also, you'll notice there is no Kartana on the team, so RIP, hopes and dreams for the thumbnail, right? But we have the Unnerve, so if he does want to be like Akka Celesteela or something, it's not gonna work like that. Also, potential Colbers on Azelf or what's his name, Victini. Colbur Victini could be an actual thing. Like, I know that kind of just sounds like I'm just like naming shit off, but like Colbur Victini versus me isn't fucking terrible. I do have a Mega Gallade, so that could be a very real thing. But yeah, the point is basically to be able to just Flame Charge up on a switch or something, then blow my load with the Z move and just kill something, and then probably Fire Blast. You know, he's got the Amoonguss, the Celesteela, Masquerain, all that stuff that doesn't want to take Fire Blasts. Then, once again, we have Scoot, the Flame Orb, Quick Feet Jolteon with Thunderbolt, Shadow Ball, Signal Beam, and Hidden Power Ice. Now, I was talking to my buddy Dai about this set, and he was like, what happened to momentum, like, what the fuck? And I was like, first of all, I never ran momentum in my life, but no, like, Jolteon is a weird scenario in this game because Jolteon puts in a fuckload of work versus this team. Like, almost everything on this team can be hit super effectively with this Jolteon. Celesteela doesn't want to take a T-Bolt. Rotom Wash, that's one of those things we discussed, hopefully can be weakened by one of my other mons. Amoonguss doesn't want to take, I mean it does kind of want to take HP Ices honestly, but I don't see Amoonguss coming. Crook doesn't want to take HP Ices or Signal Beams. Diancie does eat quite a few Thunderbolts, but like we talked about, I don't see that coming. Masquerain doesn't want to take Thunderbolts. Victini doesn't want to take Shadow Balls. Togekiss doesn't want to take Thunderbolts. Azelf doesn't want to take anything because that thing has 4 special defense. Lando-I doesn't want to take a HP Ice, and Banette doesn't want to take a Shadow Ball. With this modest Jolteon, I can put in fucking shitloads of work versus pretty much anything on this man's team. And if I play it correctly, I can definitely clean up late game. Then we have an Expert Belt Tapu Lele with Nature's Madness, Thunderbolt, Psychic, and Moonblast. Now, this thing just does big damage to his team. With the Timidity Belt, we do have a chance. If he's just the silly set from the calculator with, pretty much even investment in defense and special defense, after rocks, we can two-hit KO that Celesteela. So if he wants to switch in on me, predicting a Psychic or something, I go for Nature's Madness on the first try, and then Thunderbolt him on the second, and everything will be all fine and dandy. Hopefully. I don't know if that's gonna work, but it's Tapu Lele. It hits really hard. It kind of destroys his some of his defensive core here. Like I said, it beats Celesteela. Rotom takes a fuckload of damage from it. Amogus takes a lot of damage from it. Croak takes a lot of damage from it. Even Diancie. If Diancie does come, I'm expecting physically defensive. So Psychic is going to be doing a titload to that as well. So next, I don't think we've had him on the team in a minute, but this is just great value. The Silvally with the Rocky Helmet, because who needs a Silvally typing? With Parting Shot, Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, and Tailwind, we got young Bolt Beam with Parting Shot and Tailwind. So basically, this thing is kind of just the glue holding this team all together here. That can Parting Shot out. And here's the thing. So it kind of coincides with my next one here. Rotom, it can be a problem, but it can also help, because if he isn't offensive Rotom and he's just plain old defensive 252 Rotom, which I imagine most people bring most of the time, I can Parting Shot out on that guy. Obviously Bolt Beam is pretty standard on Silvally, so I force out a lot of stuff with that. So if he wants to go into Rotom on the switch, I can Parting Shot out, and then we have been disconnected. But after we Parting Shot, then because of my set on my next guy, he can't actually break Mega Glade's sub with Pump, which is clean as hell. So this guy's basically just there to sit around, take hits. It's something that doesn't lose to any Silvally set, unless he's fucking like Superpower or Z Superpower, which I don't see being a thing. But yeah, basically he takes chip anytime he wants to Heavy Slam me, and we are not 2-hit KO by Heavy Slam, so he's going to take 2 rounds of Rocky Helmet damage, as well as a Thunderbolt, which granted isn't doing a lot because it's a Silvally with no investment, but it's doing enough to put it in range of Thunderbolt from Scoot, Fire Blast from Fire Roar, all that good stuff. One thing with Celesteela is I kind of need fucking I kind of need Excadrill here to not really be in front of that Celesteela, if at all possible, because that is a free Autotomize if I've ever seen one in my life. Like, my best move to hit it is going to be Rock Slide, and that's doing like maybe 20%. Maybe. That's just asking to be leech seeded. But Silvally is a really important piece of the team this week, and it also has some SpDef investment, so if he wants to be if he wants to fire off Earth Powers and stuff, I should be able to eat those, as well as taking hits from Togekiss, Special Victini if that does come, and then Rotom Wash as well, of course. Then last but not least, we have a max HP 68 SpDef Jolly Mega Gallade with SD, Substitute, Close Combat, and Knockoff. Now this thing can actually put in a fuckload of work versus his team. So, like I said, the whole plan is, I know he's bringing Rotom. You don't not bring Rotom versus Sand, so I think he's going to want to have that in. I'm going to Parting Shot out with Silvally. Hopefully, go into this motherfucker right here, and then set up a Substitute for Freezies. And if he wants to pump, he's not going to hit, first of all. Although I do have a bad history of people hitting pumps versus me. So, but he ain't hitting. And that won't break my sub, even if he does. Thunderbolt, Discharge, Volt Switch, all that shit is not going to break my sub. And then I SD up, and hopefully I start putting in work on this man's team. So, that's going to be the team. I do and don't like it this week. I really like the matchups that a couple of the ones have, but then the whole Silvally Gallade thing feels kind of forced. And I'm relying on rolls and a particular amount of investment for Lele to be able to do anything in this game. So, like I said, we really need the win this week. I'm going, like I said, full try-hard mode. This was a pretty awkward matchup for me. The 5th and 6th Mons on this were kind of hard to pick, but I think we have a good set. I think Jolteon can put in some massive work. And, yeah, let's jump on in. So, here we are with the battle. As you can see, he did bring the Masquerain, the Celesteela, and the Lando-I. That is a lot of flying types. That is a lot of Jolteon food right there. Then he's got the Victini, the Crocodile, and the Rotom Wash. So, like I said, Jolteon is looking fantastic in this matchup. An Autotomized up Celesteela cannot outspeed me. Tapu Lele can also put in some work, but I'm kind of worried about giving his Victini the second terrain, especially if he's Scarf. And but yeah, other than that, like I said, we're just going to lead off with our Excadrill. We have no reason not to do the thing that we said we was going to do. And we just gotta hope and pray that he doesn't just lead off with Celesteela and Autotomize up turn 1 and just fucking destroy my team. So, he's gonna lead with the Masquerain, which is understandable. If you have a Masquerain, it does seem to be a pretty good lead most of the time. You get webs up and whatnot. And webs can actually throw off some of the speed tiers that I have, and webs are super hindering to Jolteon, because if I don't have my quick feet boost, I'm not doing as much work. So, I'm glad I led off with Excadrill. We're just going to go right for the Rock Slide, and he is... Oh, sorry. We're going to go get our Stealth Rocks up. I kind of expected him to switch out, knowing this is my spinner with a Rock move and stuff like that. But this man is going to go hard for the Quiver Dance, and all of a sudden, this thing is a fucking threat. Like, good golly. So basically, he's going to take me down to my Sash here, and he's actually going to click Scald. So it's a 30% chance to burn me. If he does burn me, the Rock Slide will not kill, but thank fuck we're gonna survive with We're gonna survive with the Focus Sash and not get burned. So, lucky thing number 1. Shoutouts to shoutouts to Excadrill. The crit didn't matter there. I did like 111% maximum minimum, even though I was intimidated because Excadrill is a strong boy. So now he's gonna go into Victini. He's gonna take those Stealth Rocks chip, and I was super glad he didn't go into Celesteela here. So he's gonna actually go for the U-turn, kill me, which is fine. You know, Excadrill is more of a hindrance to the team at this point. He can't set up webs. He can set up rocks, but I don't really care as much about rocks. So I am completely fine to sack off this Excadrill for 50% off on this Victini. That's amazing. So he's going to go into Rotom, take 12%, and he's going to show that he's lefties. That's going to, you know, make me assume he's probably just a pretty standard Rotom there. And we're going to go Lele. So if I'm Specs, I kill this Rotom right now. After he's taken the little bit of chip, this thing just dies. So I kind of expected him to swap hard into Celesteela here, probably just a specially defensive one, but he actually stays in and takes Nature's Madness damage, and he's gonna, you know, he's gonna be pretty whittled. He's actually gonna go for the Discharge. 30% chance to ruin my fucking day. It does not happen. Lucky thing number 2. Shoutouts to Tapu Lele. You know. So this time I kind of expected him to either go for the Volt Switch or just hard into Celesteela, but he did not. So Lele's going to pick up the kill on Rotom. So that means that Gallade can no longer do the thing, but we can probably still set up on something else, right? So he's going to go into the Lando-I. This thing is a fucking threat. If he is Life Orb, he kills me with Earth Power. If he's not Life Orb, he kills me with Sludge Wave regardless. But, yeah, this thing is looking like a threat. Luckily, we have old Bolt Beam himself, Silvally, and at first glance, it kind of looks like it might be Silvally Ice. So this man hard swaps. It's a good play. But I am about to just waste momentum here. You know, there's no sense. It's pretty obvious Ice Beam. So I'm just going to go for the Parting Shot. Get this boy down and out. Just get out. Go on. Get. It's like Airbud. Just get. So Victini's at -1/-1. He's at 51% because of the Stealth Rocks. I now get my Flame Orb. Honestly, the momentum with Jolteon being the Flame Orb kind of works out perfectly because I can activate that Flame Orb. And then Shadow Ball does 50% minimum to Victini with enough bulk to outspeed Tapu Lele. So that was a slight roll. It was heavily in my favor, but it was a roll nonetheless. So consider it lucky thing number 3. Now he's going to go into Crocodile. He's going to take a little bit of chip from the Stealth Rocks, and he's going to intimidate me, showing me that he's not Moxie, which is kind of a huge threat because my team has 0 Earthquake switch-ins. So I had to pray he didn't go for the Banded Pursuit, and he does not. He's just going to go for the EQ, which is understandable because, like I said, no Earthquake switch-ins. But we're going to see from that damage, he's not banded, he's not boosting item, he is leftovers. That is clean. I can eat another one of those for fucking days. And, yeah, if he wants to knock me, he's going to take damage. He actually goes for the Taunt. I guess expecting the Parting Shot, which was a fair play. But, you know, your boy clicking Ice Beam. I got Young Bolt Beam here in the flesh. And, if I get this thing below half, Jolteon kills with Signal Beam. I do 60% minimum to a fairly HP invested Crocodile. So now he's going to go for the knockoff. Take a little bit more chip, which is fine. And I'm actually just going to kill this thing with Ice Beam. Like, I can't Parting Shot out anymore. I don't really want to, you know, send something else in on the knockoff, so we're just going to kill it. Fuck it. Crocodile goes down. So Volley picks up a kill, which is clean. So, here it comes. Big, bad Celesteela. Looking like a fucking threat. being shiny as hell, comes in. He's at 88%. If he takes one Thunderbolt, he's in range of Jolteon, so I just need him to kill me after this. He does a solid chunk, but we get the paralysis, which is fucked up. And then he gets full parad. Lucky thing number 4. Holy shit. I'm sorry, Eric. I'm sorry. The first thing sucked, but that really sucked. We talked about it after the battle. It didn't really matter much because, like I said, I was quick feet Jolteon, but it's just nobody wants that to happen. It's just a shitty thing to happen. But if I was Brendan, I would go. Yeah, EQ is just going to pick us off. And we need to talk about his Celesteela set after this game as well. So at this point, he's going to take his Beast Boost, but he is quite paralyzed. And he's definitely in range of Jolteon. He's not Wakanberry, so I don't have to worry about, hitting Fire Blast and stuff. Because like, if he didn't show an item, I might have had to go Pyro here. But since he doesn't, we're just going to throw off a Thunderbolt, kill that guy right in the dick. I believe all he has left is going to be the Lando-I, which has already taken 12% from Stealth Rocks, is going to come in, take another 12%, and be guaranteed in range of the Hidden Power Ice as long as he is not Yachi Berry. So if he's Yachi Berry, he gets a kill and I win 2-0. He is not Yachi Berry. Jolteon is going to pick up its 3rd kill of the game and put in just the finest amount of work. He really did. We take that W 3-0 versus HeavyMetal Pokemon, aka Eric. And that was a good fucking game, man. There was a lot of luck on my part. I probably should have been Scald Burned, or at least paralyzed on that discharge, or fucking something, but that is not what happened. I'm not going to complain about not being burned or fucking paralyzed, but the Paraful Para was just a kick right in the balls, and I am sorry. But good game nonetheless. We really needed this W, so if there was a week I was going to take a little bit of hacks, it would probably be this week. So we are still in the playoff race, and there's something I actually need to show you guys here. So next week we play Sock, which will be fun, because he already has his position guaranteed. But if you look at the kill leaders here, we have Jolteon there with 11 at number 6, and we also have Excadrill there with 12. So shout outs to us for being one of the only teams with 2 Mons on the top 10. We also have Brendan and his Trenton Thundurus with Mew and Megazard X, which that Zard is killing it. But shout out to, man, Jolteon got put on the board because he picked up 3 kills. Excadrill has been on the board for a while now because it's been running through people with the Sand Rush. But yeah, just a cool thing I thought I'd show you guys. So playoff scenarios, right? We have 1 more week to play, and like I said, we play Sock. So what I have to do is not lose to Sock, preferably. I think there's still a scenario alive where I can lose to Sock if other stuff happens, but the JB and Brendan play this week, and I believe if Brendan wins and I lose, I can still go to playoffs, but if JB wins and I lose, I think I'm out. So basically we just got to win, and we got to hope on some other games and stuff like that. But the only thing I can control is my game. So we're going to play the fuck out of that game, full on try hard mode, 2 weeks in a row, wouldn't you know it. And yeah, so go ahead and subscribe. Definitely check out HeavyMetal Pokemon, aka Eric, down below. I don't know if his link is included in the bunch of links, but I'll make sure it's in there. And yeah, thanks guys for watching. Like, subscribe, do all that bullshit, and I will see you later. Bye forever.